This is going to be a fun wild card, I think, but maybe not. Maybe you guys will hate this. This is going to be like a 2-week wild card. Shoot, we might even turn this into like a 4-week wild card. We'll see kind of how things go. But I saw a tweet this morning that sparked this idea of doing a draft for over-under win totals. So we're going to go through the SEC today. Sorry, Tom. We'll do the Big Ten next week. We are going to draft over-unders in the SEC. You'll each get 8 teams. We're going to snake draft it. I feel like I give Tom too much love on here, so Cole gets to go first, but Tom will have 2 picks each time, right? So
yeah.
Okay.
You pick the team and the over-under that you want. So I'm going to text them to you guys right now. I didn't want to do this here because I didn't want you to be able to think about it beforehand. But here are the Circa Sports win totals for the SEC teams this year. You can pick any team you want. You want to pick Bama first. You want to pick South Carolina. You want to pick Mississippi State. You pick the team. You pick the over-under. Cole, you are up first. What are you most confident? And then we are going to track this. I'm going to cut this. We're going to see who wins. We're going to go through all the Power 4 conferences, and we'll see who wins at the end of the year. But, Cole, what you got?
I'm going to take the over on LSU. I think that's one of the easiest bets in college football this year. I love their wide receiver core. I love what they have at quarterback, Garrett Nussmeier back. I think their defense is going to be completely revamped for Blake Baker. I love Patrick Payton coming on in. I like what they have with Jack Pyburn. The AJ Kalsi addition from the University of Houston, that was just like the icing on the cake for me. 8.5 feels like that's even too low for where LSU should be in terms of what they've been able to retain in returning production. And the same way I feel about Penn State is the same way I feel about LSU. Can your head coach not find a way to fumble the bag at the 1-yard line? But 8.5, that's an easy over.
Tom?
I have back-to-back, correct?
You do.
All right. I'm going to take Tennessee under 8.5. And I'm going to take Missouri under 7.5.
Ooh.
I just feel like those are the most sure things on here. But like Tennessee, you have no idea what this team is going to look like with Joey Aguilar as the quarterback. Like it could be great. It could be a dumpster fire. And there's a lot of pieces that they have to replace from last season. And then Mizzou, as much as I personally believe in Bo Perbula being the starting quarterback, I just don't see it within the schedule. So I'm going to take under for both of those.
Cole, you get 2.
I'll take the easy, low-hanging fruit. I think that even though Texas lost a lot in terms of returning production, you have Arch Manning. I love the additions that they brought in the transfer portal, and your schedule is manageable. So 9.5 feels very relaxed when it comes to that. I still believe that they're going to be in that 10-2, 11-1 range, go to the college football playoff. So I'm buying stock in what the Longhorns are selling. And then I'm going to take the under on Arkansas. I just look at the roster top to bottom right now. And yes, I love Taylor Green. And yes, I do think that Braylon Russell could be a decent running back. But you have holes everywhere. You have holes in your offensive line. You have holes in your secondary. You lost ample talent to other SEC schools. You have one qualified receiver in Omega Blake, who's coming on in from Charlotte last year. So I just think that when you look at your schedule, which, by the way, still features games against LSU and Notre Dame and Tennessee, and you also got to throw in Texas A&M for the first time, not in Arlington. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of Sam Pittman. So I'm going to say Arkansas minus 5.5. I think they're closer to 4-8 this year.
Tom, 2.
I get 2. I'm going to go South Carolina under 7.5. And I'm taking a peek at, I'm going to say Oklahoma under 8. Just looking at Oklahoma's schedule, you have
so
Michigan.
Oklahoma here is 7.
Oklahoma. Oh, I'm sorry, at 7. That's
so you don't even have to. You could move off them completely now. I won't lock you into that.
I guess. Damn, that's a tough one. I thought that was at 8. Yeah. I think I'll stick with the under on Oklahoma actually, because I'm looking at it like Michigan, Auburn, Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, Mizzou, LSU. Like there's a lot of 50-50 games on that schedule. I could see them coming in under that number.
Ooh, 4 unders for Tom so far. 3 overs for Cole. Cole, you gonna keep with the over? What you got?
I'll take an I just don't buy into them this year. Kentucky under at 4.5. I think that Zach Calzada is your starting quarterback. That brings me a lot of questions. I think that last season you got very lucky to hit the 4-8 marker when you could have been 3-9 with a loss to with a loss to Ole Miss. That should have been in play. I think your roster's worse than it was last year because you lost multiple players at the wide receiver position. I don't think you got better. So I'm taking the under there. It's Georgia, and I can't doubt Georgia. I want to doubt Georgia, but I just can't. So I'll take the over at 9.5. I do believe Gunnar Stockton's going to be fine as your starting quarterback. I like what you brought in at wide receiver with Zachariah Branch and Noah Thomas. I don't think your offensive line is going to be terrible. I think that you did a good job of backpiling in some players on your defensive front. I think Josh McCray from Illinois is going to be a really good change of pace runner to pair alongside with Nate Frazier. And you get Alabama at home. You get Texas in your backyard. I mean, Auburn, I don't know what to make of the Tigers right now. I get the game's at Jordan Hare, but it's no longer also a tougher matchup with Tennessee. I think that Florida right now, depending on where they are, is kind of a toss-up too. So it's like, it feels just inevitable that 10-2 is going to be right there for the Bulldogs in 2025.
So here's what's left: Auburn, Texas A&M, Florida, Ole Miss, Vandy, Mississippi State, Alabama. I texted that to you as well, but Alabama, Auburn, Texas A&M, Florida, Ole Miss, Vandy, Mississippi State. Tom, you get 2.
Thank you for keeping track of these because I was losing track. I'm going to go with Ole Miss over 8.5. I think Austin Simmons has the potential to really break out this year, and I'm very curious to see what Ole Miss is able to do this year. Their schedule kind of lines up in their favor. Like the SEC, it's just a murderer's row in general. And then Florida, they're loaded with 50-50 games. There's like 7 of them on the schedule that I'm looking at but I think Lagway at least gets them to 8. So I'll go with my first 2 overs. I'll go with Ole Miss 8.5 and Florida 7.5.
Cole?
All right, over Vanderbilt at 5.5. Depth Texas Cole Thompson believing that Diego Pavia is better than advertised. He is Baba Yaga. He is the boogeyman. He is going to put belt to ass against whoever he plays, and he may end up losing some games because if his defense doesn't put up the right numbers, but it's not because of Diego Pavia. Number 2 is number 1 in my heart, so I'm just going to continue to ride the Pavia Express, and so 5.5 on that one. Okay, so out of curiosity, if it's 8 for both Texas A&M and Auburn, what does that mean? They have to finish 8-4. They have to finish 9-3 if I take the over.
So if you push, we'll just be this to that, we'll just invalidate that. So we'll do this based on percentages. So we'll make that a tie or a push, but it's not gonna I think Tom took the under on Oklahoma at 7. So if they hit 7 wins, we just throw that out. You get your money back. So we won't count it against you if they push.
I'm gonna take the under on Texas A&M because I think it's gonna be a push at 8-4 this year. Here's the bottom line. I do not hate Texas A&M. People think that I am just disgustedly hating on the Aggies and the 12th man culture. I'm not. You have a good offensive line. You have a good running back room. You have 3 running backs that probably could all start in the SEC. But you don't have a pass rush outside of Cassius Howell. You have questions in your secondary still. You have questions with your quarterback and Marcel Reed as a full-time playmaker. He's super athletic, but can he give you 4 quarters of consistency as a passer? What happens if your offensive line loses a player? How do you feel about your depth? I think this is, again, an 8-win team, so I'll take the under because I don't see them getting past it.
Tom, let's ping pong this one. So just pick one, and then you'll end up with the last pick too. But Auburn, Mississippi State, Alabama.
We're gonna finish strong under Mississippi State 3.5. Looking at their schedule, all of their wins should be non-con wins. I see them going winless in the SEC this year.
We are left with the Iron Bowl. Which side of it do you want, Cole?
I'm never taking Auburn. As an Alabama fan, it's disgusting to do that. So give me the Crimson Tide. I'm actually really high on this wide receiver room. I'm really high on this defense. Their secondary is loaded, so much so that I think that we're going to talk about them as a top 10 unit. I think Kane Womack is going to get consideration for the Broyles Award and probably back into the conversation of being a head coach. I don't really care who's playing quarterback. I like Ryan Williams. I like Jeremy Bernard. I like Isaiah Horton. Go ahead and give me the Crimson Tide over -9.5.
When Florida State upsets them week 1, you're going to be sweating that out.
I'm going to be sweating like crazy.
And Tom, take us home with Auburn. Over, under.
Under. I'm going to go under. I think they'll be fun to watch this year, but just looking at their schedule right now, 7-5, 6-6 makes sense.
Yeah, they would have to really shock to get to 9 wins. So the no hook there really, I think, protects you. I like the pick of under as well. Just if they get to 8-4, you're fine. They're more likely to go 7-5 than 9-3, I would think. So I think that's the smart pick on that one.